All right, so we're here with Odd Haugen, Among the Stones guys. We're gonna have a little chat here. So how are you doing today?
Very good. I just finished training.
Awesome. What was on the list today?
Just did a little bit of lifting with the Raptor, the one-arm Raptor for the Super Series.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Prepare
That's
for
a
the
tough
Super Series.
roller.
Yeah, it rolls fast. It rolls hard. It's not
Yes,
as
it
thick
does.
as the Rolling Thunder, but it's just as hard. I think
Yeah,
it's actually a little harder. I think most people will lift less weight on it.
I would agree. It rolls out much quicker out of the hand than the
Yeah,
Rolling Thunder.
yeah, it's a little different. Your hand can be a little open, and your fingers strong. It can be in your fingertips, I think, a little bit. The Rolling Thunder won't be because it's so big. It will come out. But
Right,
other
yeah,
than that, I
exactly.
think my weights, my training weights are about the same what I would have done with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, that's a really tough handle. I got to try that out at my buddy Jeff's house, and it spins fast, and the long frame on it makes it really tough to do any sort of like off centering at all. So it's just a tough one.
It's gonna roll the same no matter how you hold it, I think.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you have a few grip tools there behind you.
Just a couple,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a couple back there. Yeah, we've been having a little fun with grip this past year. Just we got a few more over there.
Yeah.
Getting into it, having a good time. I'm getting close to the MM0, and Adam's smashing some big numbers. He's hit almost 185 on the Saxon now. So
Yeah, great. Where are you guys located?
Just up
Seattle
here
or
in Vancouver, Washington. So just
Vancouver.
about 10 minutes north of Portland.
Yeah. So not quite as far north as I thought. You're not Vancouver, Canada, Vancouver, Washington, which is
Yeah, not
basically
Canada. Just
you're basically Portland.
yeah, just
Yep.
an extension of Portland, exactly.
yeah, exactly. That's
Well, I'm in my my fancy office, which is just a converted closet.
Perfect.
yeah. This is just our garage that we turned a corner of it into a gym basically during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't the only ones. A lot of those around now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's what we had to. All the gyms closed up. We had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So you got a Saxon PR recently at the Arnold Classic. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with all my lifts because they were all better than I'd done since the pandemic started.
Wow.
So I actually improved all my lifts. The Saxon was a PR, all-time PR. I never lifted anymore.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
was awesome to watch.
I'm far behind on both the Rolling Thunder and the axle. I'm way behind my best on those, but I will come back. I have been 6 to 8 months without really training lifting heavy, so I have no legs. My legs are gone. And when you get old, the legs goes if you don't work hard.
Yeah, I saw you say that on one of your lifts to the ref. You said the grip was there, but the legs were shaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my best lift there was 192.5, but I hadn't lifted more than 190 in the last couple of years, so 192.5 was okay on the axle. But that was like very, my ego had a tough time with it because I normally would warm up with that, and I open up with like 200. But now there's the. So, yeah, it sucks getting old.
Well, that brings me up to one of our fan questions we got in, one of the first questions we got. And I think we had half a dozen people write this in. The first one that wrote it in was Sarah the Crusher. She wanted to know what secrets do you have for staying strong through longevity, staying strong at your age and continuing to get stronger, and what should we do in our training to try to do that?
Stay consistent, I think, is the most important word you can use. Just being consistent, always, train, don't get a fall off the wagon, so to speak. You said to stay on it all the time. Maybe close the door before they start turning music on it.
Sounds like there's some lifting going on. People are working out. It's awesome.
So yeah, so I think the consistency is the most important thing. Since my early 30s, when I between like 25 and I played football, and 25 and 32, I was very inconsistent in my training. I kind of on and off. Started up, lasted for a week or two, and then it was off again. And so I did that for like that many years, and then all of a sudden I said, "This ain't happening anymore. I'm going to change. I'm starting training, and it's going to be always the same thing." So I changed things and started being consistent with my training. At that time, I wasn't competing in anything, but I was just training.
What was the biggest thing that made you change in your early 30s? Was it just a mindset, or was it something
No,
else?
we changed it. I'm like 6'3", 6'4", right? And I went down to 218 pounds. That was the lightest I've been since I was a kid. So I said, oh, well, first of all, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that my waist was 36. And, a few years before I had been 250 and 30-inch waist. So the 36-inch waist was what made it said, this ain't happening. I'm changing this. And actually in 6 months, I was able to go from 218 to 242, and I dropped my waist down to 32. But
Wow.
then it never ever gotten back to 30. Then started doing powerlifting in my 40s, and then strongman and stuff like that, and of course waist just grew. So,
Oh, yeah,
it's not so
definitely.
bad now. I mean, I wear 38 pants now.
Yeah. Strongman, you
So-
got to have that power belly.
That's right. That's funny. I was 283 at the beginning of the year, and I just went down to about 242 myself. So I know
Yeah.
that transition.
Yeah, I come down from like 300 down to like I'm 260 about now.
Okay, so another question that we got in from one of the fans was what's your favorite moment in your competition, or what are some of the people that you've enjoyed training with or competing against the most?
I don't know the most. I mean, my moment, my most memorable moment, maybe. I think one of them was beating Marius in the truck pool in Russia,
Well,
at
that's
the Olympic
awesome.
Stadium in Russia,
Yeah.
in the World Strongman Super Series. He couldn't finish, and I think I was one of the two people that finished it, and I won it. So that was probably one of my major moments. But I also beaten them a few times, like in farmers walk and stuff like that. But that was a little more expected. Beating him in a truck pull, which is basically a kind of a cardio overall strength event, was something he thrived at. He was very good at it, actually, but he took it for granted.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
definitely
he's one of
fast strongman.
my favorite. Yeah, he's one of my favorite strongmen to compete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very intense, very intense. Nothing
Yeah.
stops. He's like a
Incredible run that he had too.
yeah.
So what motivates you to compete?
Well,
And to
compete
continue competing.
motivates you to work out. So that's how I look at turnaround. You compete so that you want to work out, because if you don't have anything, if you have no goals, it's very difficult to do it. I did it in my 30s when I first started back in. The goal was really just to get my physique back in shape. So from that standpoint, that was the goal, but it wasn't for competition. And then I started powerlifting in my early 40s, and then converted to a strongman. But I always liked competing, and I only wish I had, had strongman when I was 25. Because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
a 4.5. I was a 4.55 sprinter. I high jumped in college and ran 100 and did all that stuff. So plus I was very strong. So I think he could have done very well in strongman at the time.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. You would have been in there with Jeff Capes and Bill Kazmaier and those guys.
Yeah, that's it. I predate those guys even. You know, this is before World Strongman didn't start to 77.
Okay, yeah.
And this was, I got out of school in 73. So this was 74, 75 would have been for me.
Man, that would have been cool to see.
So in your long career that you've had, what do you think is your greatest athletic achievement? You know, beating Marios, like you talked about.
Probably winning the strongest man in America, the all strength U.S. heavy all strength challenge in 1999. I was probably one of my best shape ever too. I don't know if I was my strongest, but I was at my best shape. And I came into that competition and went against 20 guys. We had 20 the first day. We cut it down to 10 after the first day, and I won the first day, and then had to start over and use 0 points on the second day, but I won the second day as well. And I did the whole thing with a kinked neck, so I could barely. When I was done, I couldn't even take my hand down. I was walking around with my hand up here because my neck was so painful.
Oh wow!
Yeah, one of the guys out of your area that was there helping out. He was massaging me and working on my my back the whole time to try to keep me so I could finish the competition.
Wow, that was about the same time you went into World's Strongest Man, wasn't it?
I should have gone to the World's Strongest Man that year, but I thought I was too old that year, so I got to go 2 years later.
That's what I thought. Yeah, you went a couple years later. Yeah. They thought you were too old that year, so you wound up going later. That's amazing.
I couldn't deny it because 2 years later we had a few like Grand Prix in Europe, and I competed in, and they couldn't deny it because I was was a top 3, 4 most of the competitions.
That's awesome. So one of the other fan questions we got in was someone wanted to know where you see arm lifting going and what do you see in the next couple of years for Arm Lifting USA?
Well, I think we are heading in the right direction. We're getting a lot of people involved. I think it's not a spectator sport, but it's really a great participation sport because everybody can do it. And I think as people beat themselves up in powerlifting and strongman and everything else and hit this late 30s and early 40s, they say, oh my God, I'm so worn out, but I still want to do the lift heavy. You can still lift heavy but you limit the amount of weight you have on your body by your grip. So I think it will be a sport for people as they older strength athletes. Not that younger people can't do well in it, but I'm just saying that it's a great way for people to have a longevity because in lifting and enjoying lifting heavy weights. Because the reality is that when you do a Saxon bar and you do a max Saxon bar at 120 kilo, it's not that hard on my body. Because my legs aren't bothering me on that, but my entire body is 100% used for doing it. I have blacked out more often on the Saxon bar than I have on anything else ever lifted because you're putting so much force into your grip.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy to think how much you have to engage everything to do it, but that's true. I've gotten more tired from heavy gripper workouts than just about anything else I've ever done.
Yeah, and I think like with our World Super Series for second year of the Super Series now, we will it's going to get bigger every year. So last year I think we had 150 competitors. Hopefully we get more. This year we're doing it differently. We have 3 two two stages that are done remotely, basically in different locations around the world, and then all the top 10 in all the weight classes get invited to the Olympia, where we're going to have like the finals.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Which is in Las Vegas in December. So I think it's going to be, it lays out really nice with the Olympia, where you have a ton of people, and you get to show off like at Arnold's. That was a tremendous competition. We had a huge audience watching arm lifting, and I think
That's
we probably
awesome.
caught on to a few fans that will probably get involved in arm lifting. So look for a venue near you and get involved.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. We get a lot of people here that are competing. They're not thinking of winning any world championship, but they like to participate and measure themselves against the best. And they do, and we do all the way. This year we're doing all the weight classes, not the limited weight classes. We do, for men we do, I think 80, 90, 100, 110, 125, and 125 plus. And for women we're doing 60, 70, 80, and 80 plus.
Yeah,
So it's a
that'll be
lot of
great.
weight class, a lot more weight classes. We have at least $8,000 in prize money that we're putting ourselves together with a sponsor. And if we get some more sponsors involved, we will increase the prize money. Usually the money that the sponsors put up, goes right into prize money.
That's incredible. I know we look forward to it, and we're definitely hosting one here, so we're excited about that.
Right.
Yeah, we had a blast doing it last year, and
Yeah.
one of our competitors wound up at the Arnold Classic, Brittany. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, she said she had a really good time there. Got to meet all the big names and
Yeah.
compete with some big named people, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I think Brittany and her husband is coming down here sometime to the training hall. They said in April, I think.
yeah, they said something about heading down there for it. That's awesome. Yeah, Adam plans on heading down south in September.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Ricardo. He said stop by anytime. So plan on getting together with him, and we'll
Yeah.
see what else happens. But yeah, I'll be down there in September.
Yeah, coming from your place, you'll be driving by Ricardo's place. It's like 2 hours away from us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he has quite a arm lifting gym in his house. So
It'll be
That's
full
awesome.
garage, totally dedicated to it. I think I haven't seen it other than on video, but it looks fantastic.
I'll have to let you know,
Yeah, I'd
because
love to
I'll
see that.
check it out, and then I'm heading down to San Diego, so
Yeah.
I'll be driving right by you as well.
Yeah, so you had to come stop by here too.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
And we have all the tools, all the toys.
Yeah.
And if there's a few people in the gym, and all of us, an arm lifting contest kind of happens. It'll be a
Perfect.
That's
challenge.
awesome.
Particularly on Sunday, we kind of formally do it every Sunday that we have arm lifting, and then people come in and try out different things.
Oh, that's cool.
So the last big fan question we had that came in, you mentioned that young people and old people can compete. It was pretty cool to see Yvonne Shook at 19 years old, I think, and you
Yeah.
at 72 competing against each other in the same weight class, the same lifts. Where do you ever see that in any strength sport?
Yeah, not too often. He was in a lighter weight class, but we were in the same flight.
Yeah.
But he's a very, very impressive young man. Very impressive.
So the question was, what young guys or up and comers are you watching in arm lifting, and which ones do you think are going to be making some big waves soon?
Well, obviously somebody like him, he is amazingly strong, obviously. And there's quite a few others. We have a couple of people here that are pretty good also. We have Travis, I can't think of his last name, but anyway, he's a former ninja warrior. And he comes, he doesn't train here, but he comes in and train once in a while, and he competes in all our contests here. And did well. He was in the top 5 or something like that in the Super Series too. But yeah, I think he's taller than me, but he's only but competes in the 90 kilos classes.
Oh wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. He's probably got
He
some big
competed on-
mitts
but
then
he
for his weight
competed in
class.
the-
That's great.
Yeah, he competed in the American Ninja Warriors, I think, for like 6 years. So he's quite an athlete.
Yeah, those guys like to stay light so they can pull themselves around a lot easier.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a total grip event anyway. I mean,
Yeah,
the whole show is so grip dependent.
When we
So if you don't
started
have
our
grip,
when we started this whole thing in our garage and this channel, the first people that we attracted up here in the Northwest were Ninja Warriors and Spartan people, because it's
Yeah.
just popular up here and they use their grip like crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, we
that's
met a
good.
few.
That's the great thing now that we have many weight classes and we are opening all the weight classes and trying to, every time we put on the meet, we put all the weight classes in there, and I put medals up for every weight class. If there's one person in there, they'll get the gold medal. We just had to, it's a participation sport, so we got to get people, let them do the best they can in their weight group.
yeah, we do the same thing
It's
here.
very important. Yeah, I think it's very important.
Absolutely. We even started the kids events, and we get quite a few youngsters that compete. My daughter competes at 7. My son loves to compete at 10. So
yeah,
I know
cool.
Jeff and Brittany's daughter competes at 10. So we have a lot of fun here.
That's great. Great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Grip sport is something the whole family can do. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you saw a lot of couples at the Arnold too that are competing.
Yeah. Yeah, the Muncies aren't too far from us. And they were there competing.
They are talking about somebody else. They are fantastic.
Yes, very strong.
Both of them are super strong. Both of them.
Yeah, they're just over on the east side of our state.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't ask me about names. I don't remember who is who till I mention them. But definitely Muncies. Of course, I know his dad because he competed against the other in like the early, like the late 90s, 98, I think. We competed in a couple of strongman competitions against each other.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I don't know his father or the history behind that. I just know that I just know about Andy, and his grip strength is just killer.
It comes from the right stock. His dad is very strong. He was a very good strongman back in his days.
Okay. Well, that definitely makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, our buddy Mike Wilfong from this area now moved over to the east side and hosts some contests over there, and I think that they all join up for contests on that side now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think we have about 3 areas now that do grip contests here, down in Staten, Oregon, here in Vancouver, and then over on the east side. So
yeah, that's great.
It's just a lot of fun. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we just need to spread get more venues for this year. That's be terrific. Last year we ended up with 20 venues. I think we had 22, but we had a couple that couldn't do it. Like our UK venue was closed down because of COVID. But this year, hopefully, we can have more international events. Love to be able to have Mark Felix and some of the other. There's a lot of other guys there. Terry Holland is also very strong grip. I've been pitching them on getting involved in this thing. And Lars Chalet, he's also a very strong grip. And I think they're young and they're still young and they still want to compete in something, and they don't want to kill themselves in strong, to be at the top of strongman. So this is an opportunity for them to compete. So I'm hoping that I can get those guys involved.
Yeah, I'd love to see what Mark can do. I mean, we know what he can do on the Rolling Thunder, but boy, it'd be cool to see what he could do on the axle and the Saxon bar and that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee it'll be big numbers.
Oh yeah, his grip's insane. Yeah, I mean, obviously he proves it every year he does the Hercules hold.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest goal in what's your goal right now, current athletic goal or current lifting goal? What are you trying to accomplish?
For me,
Yeah.
I'm training for me. My goal is to be a little better, more competitive in the Super Series than I was last year. Last year, I had the neck injury right before the first one, so my hand was numb on the first competition. Second one I came off was like 3 weeks after surgery on my spinal surgery on my neck. So I had it didn't affect my right hand, so it was all one arm lift, so it didn't affect it. But my training, it was greatly affected, of course. So
Okay.
this year I'm planning to I want to redeem myself.
Do you think we'll see Martins in it again this year? And do you think he'll hit both stages this time?
I doubt it that will find a time.
Okay.
You never know. Yeah.
It was cool to see him show up for the first stage last year.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He won that, and he's just an amazing athlete.
No, he didn't win it, but he did really well. But he was second to
Okay.
to
Myers Cough,
Carl.
right?
Yeah.
Was it Carl? Okay.
Yeah.
He's hard to beat 6'8", 360, and really trained for this. He's really, really good. I guess he's the epitome of a arm lifting athlete, I would say.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he was.
But I mean, fat bars aren't really fat to him.
No,
they're like a normal bar for that guy.
Well, he doesn't have enormous hands like Mark Felix. Mark Felix have another joint on top of my. I'm gonna take my fingers and you add another joint to him. That's Mark's hand. but Carl has probably almost similar size hands to me. I think. I don't think I feel like I'm smaller in his hands, but he trains really well and is super strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting close to. He might be the first one to cert on the number 4 gripper.
Yeah, unless that young kid from Chicago beats him to it.
That's true.
Yeah, he's close too.
That's true. He's really close. He's a monster on those things. Yeah, even he's got some thick wrists and hands, man. He is just strong kid.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't overdo it, because the thing is that you can get some injuries from overuse when you do these things too. I have seen other strong young guys that are overdoing it.
Yeah.
You can let it happen a little bit more of the time. You can't rush it. Yeah. You'll get stronger, but you can't rush it. If you do too much, you're going to overuse it. You're going to have problems with your joints. You're going to have problems with tendons, stuff like that. So patience is always the best thing. Be consistent and be patient.
Yeah.
I have to say that, like the Arnold's competition was my most satisfying lifting competition ever, I think. I went into it with realistic goals, and I hit all of them, and quit at the time. I finished the lift and I said, okay, that's it. I got what I came here for, and I felt really good. I got everything. I may have had a little bit more in me in the Saxon bar, but if I tried a higher and missed it, it wouldn't be as satisfying as ending at the 120.
Yeah, that was a huge lift. That was awesome.
I had, the way I practiced for it, I knew that I had no problem holding on to it. So it was just a matter of getting a good grip right from the beginning, because I've been working with the Saxon bar and those big wheels.
Okay.
Like that. What's they used at Arnold at the Worlds for the deadlift.
Big wagon wheels.
The wagon wheels. They borrow those from ours, so we have them here. So I put them on the Saxon bar, and I got to 300 pounds on it.
Wow.
And that wasn't a spectacular lift, but I did get it all the way up. And then I took it back down to 120 kilos, and then I kept pulling it up and holding it for time. because it's
That's
not
awesome.
that long. It's a very short lift, obviously, because it's 18-inch. The wheels are 36-inch.
Yeah.
So the bar is 18 inches off the ground. Big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Time under pressure is a lot different. So that's no advantage for Carl. He is so tall. He has to lift it for a long
Just
time.
lift it really far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to lift it like 5 feet.
But he's a perfectionist with it. He's a really good technique, and he lifts very good.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch over the years. He's coming close to the axle world record now.
Yeah.
He's over 500 now, and I think the record's like 530. So he's getting really close.
Yeah, he's not very far off. I think he had like 230, 507, I think, at Arnold's. I think I don't remember what the result is. I didn't actually see the lift, so I don't remember it. Well over 500, and he had done 500 before here.
Yeah,
that was a world record. I thought it would go easier. I thought I could do it, but now I couldn't lift that much if you had put straps on me and a regular bar. So it wouldn't happen much. I'm gonna have to get my deadlift up again to be able to do it.
That's been our situation as
Yeah.
well.
Especially-
Coming from a background where we didn't really lift heavy at all, and we jumped into grip sport.
Yeah.
So we quickly got our axle lift right up to where our deadlift max was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hold on to it. I just can't pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna spend a lot of time squatting and getting the legs back under me so I can deadlift.
Yeah, I like the idea of training with the holds from a higher height. That's a good idea for the Saxon and for pinch lifts.
Yeah.
That's smart. I didn't think to do that. That's a good tip.
My on the axle, if I can get my legs back, my ambition is no longer to break the world record, because I can tell that's pretty far out there. But I might still to try to hit 500.
That would be incredible.
I have lifted 500 on the axle before with the Sornex. Like a 2-inch bar with the big balls on each side.
Okay, yeah.
And it was higher too. It was probably like 14, 15 inches. And I had 3 reps on that.
Wow.
Double overhand. So yeah, and I have lifted well over the world record from 19 inches.
Okay, yeah.
That's incredible.
But if you can't deadlift it, you can't hold on to it. It doesn't matter how much.
Exactly. You can hold it, yeah.
It's gonna. First thing is you gotta be able to lift it.
Exactly. Maybe take the record in some kind of static monsters event where they could do a static event with the axle. That would be cool.
Yeah.
See who can hold on to 500 pounds the longest or something.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a neat one to see.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely gonna work on getting 500 on the axle with the wheels. I think so. I'll get a solid 300 on the Saxon bar and 500 on the axle with the wheels. That's going to be satisfactory. I think.
Can't wait to see it.
Work on getting my legs back under me so I can
goals.
do the same thing with from the ground.
That's awesome. So you mentioned like the higher pulls on the Saxon bar. Are there any other like cool like different techniques or training methods for grip that you've stumbled on that have helped you out significantly?
I think the Saxon bar is not just a pinch. It's also is a very much of a wrist thing or finger strength. So one of the things I do as an assistant exercise for it, I always is doing curls with the Saxon bar, because then it's all this finger holding on with the fingers as you're curling up like this, right? Reverse. So curls with the Saxon bar, I think it's a very good exercise as an assistant for deadlifting it.
Okay, cool.
You can't use very
Awesome.
much weight. It becomes very heavy very quickly. But
Yeah, I'd imagine. But yeah, that would strengthen your wrist quite a bit too, I'd imagine.
yeah, and I think the wrist strength is when I do the best on the Saxon bar is when my wrists are nice and feeling like they are not worn out or anything. Because I use a lot of wrist in it, my Saxon bar. Because come off the floor, I don't, my hands don't turn till I go all the way up to the top, then they turn. And then I'm holding it in a pinch. But all the way up, it's on my fingers and wrist.
Okay. I'm gonna have to start incorporating those now. Awesome.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
good.
And very thick, very, I think also the lifting with very thick fat grips.
Okay.
You know, like the orange fat grips, or even I have something like a gorilla grip that I bought on Amazon. It's like a barrel, or something like an orange barrel like this. And like,
I've seen that. Yeah, the barrel shaped one.
Yeah.
But using that kind of thing in like curling and stuff like that, and hammer curls and doing curls with that type of thing, I think it's going to help on the Saxon bar, because you have to really squeeze with your fingers. And the whole idea of the Saxon bar is that you can't. On the axle, you can kind of do it. You can be lazy. You don't have to hold on that hard. Your strong fingers, they're sitting in your fingers. But on the Saxon bar, you have to squeeze.
Yes.
And that's the same thing now when we're going into the Super Series, where we have blue grips, stuff like that. That's a harder lift than the double overhand with the two blue grips. Is harder than the double overhand axle.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to squeeze to hold, keep them on there.
Yeah, we learned that pretty quick. Those blue grips are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you guys, is it about the same, or how big a difference between what you can do on?
Oh, I think I lift like 30% more on the axle.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm much better on the axle than those blue fat grips for sure.
Yeah, I'm about the same. I think though, like I ended up in the Super Series with 165, but that was just by fluke. If I hadn't lifted the 165 as part of my warm up, I said, "Yeah, I'll just count this," and I did it as a warm up, and then I went to 175 and missed it because my left hand was now but I was good for probably like 190, which is what I have on at the time was on the rolling on the axle as well. So I'm hoping to do well over 200 this year.
That'll be awesome.
We're knocking knock on wood. I'm going to have legs by the summer.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be a huge lift on the blue fat grips. Around 7.
So if you could start your training all over again today with the knowledge you know, what would you do differently?
Do a hell of a lot more stretching and mobility work than I did during my career. I think the mobility and the stretching is the most important thing to make the muscles work better. I think one of the things that I think is the key to like Martin's success is the fact that he's always been doing a lot of mobility work and a lot of preparation before he started lifting. You never see him start lifting heavy weights right off the bat, other than the arm lifting. He jumps in midway and does it. But on this lifting, his normal lifting, he takes a lot of time getting ready. And I wish I had done the same thing.
It's good to know. I mean, especially young people always think, "Oh, I could just jump right in. It's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old way.
Yeah,
It's not the good way. Probably some just yoga and some other things like that would be very helpful to most strength athletes.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think is the most important piece in your home gym and why?
Well, I don't have a home gym, but the most important part would be a squat rack,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that's squat is the king of all exercises, and I'm gonna get back to doing it.
Yeah.
It's a long time since I've done much. So. Now that I do squat, though, I just try to do. I did a lot of during my strongman career. We don't squat in a competition, but I always squatted every week. But I did a lot of box squats, low box squats, very explosively and high, low rep, high number of sets, but high amount of intensity. And now I'm we have this leverage machine outside, which is used for we built it for a Viking press, where you can squat on it and stuff like that. And I do bottom up squats from there. So I do basically deadlift squats, go into a squat and then stop. So start in the bottom and squat up.
Yeah.
And then on each rep, stop at the bottom and squat back up. So because that's the strength you need for lifting.
Yep.
But bouncing up and down in a squat isn't going to do any good for arm lifting or for deadlifting.
Right. That'll definitely get your legs back too.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, we did those bottom up squats for a little while. That's a tough exercise.
Yeah.
Definitely helped my deadlift go up though.
Yeah. I think one of the things that happens also to you as you get older is that it's very hard to actually do the exertions that it used to do. Like it was easy. Now if it's hard, I don't want to do it. That's a problem. But you do need to do some heavier stuff. And when you do bottom up squats, you don't have a choice. If you want to move it, you're going to exert 100%. And that's what you need to do for the arm lifting. So I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope the music in the background isn't too disturbing.
Don't even hear it. You're good.
Can't even hear the music. We heard a couple people lifting before you shut the door or something like that. But that was about it.
So you guys getting out there for the St. Patrick's Day?
No, I was working all day, unfortunately. So I'm actually still working, and I got to go back and shoot off a couple emails and check on a driver and stuff. And then, yeah. So it's been a busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a boxing match on tonight. I might stop by my father's place and check that out or something.
Yeah.
I'd do something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go and get I'm gonna have to go and get a Guinness or two.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Absolutely.
The right thing to do today.
Yeah.
So last question on our list of questions. Do you have any other advice for people that are trying to get into arm lifting or grip sport or just trying to get healthy in general? What advice would you give to some of the new guys that are starting up? As you know, we just had people reach out to us that are starting a new home gym for arm lifting, and it seems like it's growing in popularity.
Yeah, what they do, I think they get started. You start either putting on contests or get involved in competing. You're gonna measure yourself. It's hard to do anything like this if you're just lifting it. You gotta know that you're lifting for some reason and get on the leaderboard and try to climb up on the top.
Yeah.
So then you get going. And for health, stay active. Don't spend your time on your butt. Get off and walk.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's advice we've heard from many people that we've talked to is just got to move.
Yeah, and just get started.
Yeah.
Start.
So before we let you go, do you have any questions for us about Couch Potato Strong or any cool things information you want to tell us, or
Your podcast, where do you have it?
we'll put a video on YouTube, and then we also upload the audio to all the podcast platforms. So Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the ones. We just do it through Anchor FM, so it goes on the major ones.
Yeah, all the major podcast channels will have Couch Potato Strong on it.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's great talking to you guys.
Yeah, it was great chatting with you.
It's an honor to have you on here.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us, and it was definitely an honor.
We'll see you at the Olympia in December.
Let's do it.
Super Series.
We got a little work ahead of us to make it happen, but
we'll try.
We're doing our best. That's for sure.
I'll see you in September for sure.
All right. Cool.
All righty. Take care.
Bye.